Hello, and welcome to part 2 of the Advertisers in CRM training session. In this part, we will cover contacts and activities. The first question we might ask is, what is a contact? Contacts are people that are associated with an advertiser. An advertiser can have an unlimited number of contacts, and they can designate a contact as either a primary, they can designate actually both primary contact and a billing contact. The address associated with the billing contact, if it's different than the advertiser's address, is the one that will be used on invoices and statements. You can track all correspondence with the contact for activities such as calls, appointments, and follow-ups. Contacts can also be assigned to one or more roles that they play within the company. All the contact's information, such as name, address, if it differs from the advertiser's address, is used instead of the advertiser. And you can have an unlimited number of phone numbers and email addresses for each of the contacts. If you'd like to quickly send an email, you can click the Email Contact button, which launches your default email program and populates the two with the contact's primary email address. You can go to the advertiser's website by clicking the advertiser's website button, which loads the site in your default browser. Down below here we can see the activities that might be associated with a contact, and that can include calls to make, appointments, or follow-ups. So what are activities? Activities are tasks that are related to a contact. Those tasks may be things like calls to make, appointments, correspondence. The correspondence can be things like email or any conversation that you had and you want to take notes about that conversation. So here's an example of the activity screen. On the left-hand side, you can see the advertisers. When we select an advertiser, we will get a listing of all the activities associated with that advertiser down below. This is a common model. Select an advertiser, and then down below you'll be populated with various things. On other forms it might be payments, it could be invoices, it could be orders, and what have you. In this case it's activities. So we select an activity to load it. And we can see that this is the advertiser, a buyer's choice home inspection. It just so happens there's no contact associated with this activity. We can see a title for the activity. We can see the activity type, such as this in this case it's an in-person meeting. We can set priority and status for the activity. And we can even create a new contact if we select this button right here. That will launch the contact screen, allow us to create a new contact, and then we can select them from the list. And over here we have the user that is assigned to this particular activity, the user account. So this is information also about when the activity is starting or when it's due and so forth. And then we have an area to type in notes about that activity. Up at the top, if we click the email contact button, it will actually launch your email program like we talked about previously, and it will fill it in the two with the contact's primary email address. This is an activity list, and that is displayed in the main executive when you launch Account Scout. It's a work list. It shows activities by default that cover today. You can change that date range though if you'd like. If you'd like this week or next week or what have you, you can do. You can change that. But when you launch, it will default to today. If you'd like to open up an activity, simply select it and double-click on it. On the side, you can change your filter criteria. For instance, maybe I only want to show activities that are of high priority. I can simply select high in the side list and click the refresh button. Whenever I make a change, if I open up one of these activities and maybe I want to show only open status as an example, as I set a filter on that, when I open up one of these activities and I finish it, and I set the status to close and save, it will automatically be removed from this list. It's automatically refreshed. However, if there are other people that are creating activities on your behalf, you'll need to click the refresh button